Look at yourself. Go ahead. Look at that reflection in the black mirror of your smartphone. That man staring back at you. Is that the descendant of warriors? Is that the master of his fate that the Stoics wrote about? Or is that a ghost? 5 minutes ago, you felt like a god. You were chasing a high that felt like the pinnacle of human experience. But now the screen is dark, the pixels are gone, and you are left with nothing but a hollow chest, a racing heart, and the crushing weight of a silence you cannot escape. In this moment, you don't feel like the man you know you could be. You feel diminished. You feel like a spectator in your own life. But if you are tired of being a ghost, if you are ready to stop leaking your life force into a plastic device and start building a life worth living, then subscribe to this channel right now. Join the few who are choosing the hard path of self-mastery over the easy path of digital slavery. We are building a circle of men who refuse to be puppets. If that's you, stay. If not, keep scrolling and stay exactly where you are. Now, look at that reflection again. While the world moves outside, while men are building empires, lifting iron, and winning the hearts of real women, you are sitting in a dark room, staring at a fantasy. The Stoics had a word for what you are right now. They called it a slave. Epictetus, a man born in literal chains, once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By that definition, you are in a cage deeper than any Roman dungeon. Your strings are being pulled by an industry that profits from your silence and your solitude. Today, we stop the bleeding. Today, we step out of the shadows. Your brain is a relic of the ancient world. It wasn't built for high-definition, infinite variety. For 200,000 years, the reward of intimacy was the hardest thing for a man to achieve. It required strength, status, courage. It was the trophy at the end of a long, difficult road of self-improvement. Modern technology has taken that road and flattened it. Now, your brain thinks you've conquered 1,000 worlds in a single afternoon, while you sit in total stasis. When you flood your brain with artificial reward, the receptors don't just reset. They withdraw, they desensitize. This is the biological tax on convenience. When your dopamine receptors are fried, your motivation dies. The things that should drive you, the desire to build, to protect, to succeed, simply stop working. Why would you struggle through a difficult workout or stay late at the office when you can get a massive chemical reward for doing nothing? You have taught your brain that effort is unnecessary, and so discipline starts to feel like an impossible mountain to climb. Real life doesn't just feel boring, it feels painful. Suddenly, the real world starts to feel grey. A real woman's smile? It doesn't register. A sunset? Boring. Reading a book? Impossible. And that should concern you. Think about your typical night. You tell yourself it's been a long day. You tell yourself you've earned a little relaxation. You're at your desk, or perhaps lying in bed. There is a project you should be finishing. There is a book you promised yourself you'd read. There is a gym session you skipped because you felt tired. But you aren't actually tired. You are avoiding. You open a tab, then another. You aren't even looking for anything specific anymore. You are just hunting for the next spike. You spend 40 minutes just scrolling through thumbnails, looking for the perfect hit. Your heart rate is up. Your palms are sweaty. The rest of the world has vanished. Your goals, your family, your future. They all disappear into the glow of the screen. You tell yourself, just one more, then one last time. You close the browser, only to reopen it 30 seconds later, because the ghost is still calling. You don't even enjoy the images anymore. You are just performing a mechanical ritual. You have lost control of your own hands. You are watching the clock skip from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., and you have no idea where the time went. You are trapped in a loop of time distortion and emotional numbness. And when it's over, you don't feel relaxed. You feel exhausted. You feel a strange sort of social anxiety creeping in. You find yourself avoiding eye contact the next day. You find yourself stuttering in conversations. You feel as though everyone can see the secret you're carrying. You feel like a fraud. You walk into a room, and something is off. You can't hold eye contact for long. Your voice lacks weight. You find yourself second-guessing your own thoughts mid-sentence. You feel as though you have no ground beneath your feet. You are biologically depleted, and it shows in your posture, your presence, and your power. When you are addicted, you lose the ability to lead. You cannot lead other people if you cannot lead your own nervous system. You walk with slumped shoulders because your internal pride has been hollowed out. You find social interactions draining because you are comparing every real human being to an airbrushed, pixelated lie. You have traded your masculine aura for a few minutes of digital static, and the world can sense the void. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know this. You've felt the hollowness. You've seen the color drain from your own life. This is a counterfeit victory. It gives you the chemicals of success, without the character of a man who has actually succeeded. It turns you into a version of yourself that is content with a mediocre life because your brain thinks you've already won the game. Consider the internal battle that happens every time the urge strikes. It usually starts quietly. A small thought, a memory of a video, a harmless search on social media. The traitor in your mind begins to speak. He is a lawyer. He is skilled at negotiation. He says, just 5 minutes, just to take the edge off. It's been a stressful week. You've been doing so well. You deserve a break. You'll start your streak again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. It's a better day to start fresh. But then, the king in your mind speaks. He is a judge. He is silent and stern. He says, no, we don't do this anymore. Remember the shame. Remember the dark room. Remember the reflection in the mirror. The traitor replies, but what's the harm? Everyone does it. It's natural. You're being too hard on yourself. Just one peek won't hurt. You don't have to go all the way. This is the dialogue of your own destruction. The more you negotiate with the traitor, the weaker the king becomes. Seneca warned, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you allow your mind to wander into these digital fantasies, you are abandoning the present moment. You are abandoning your post. You think you are making a choice, but you aren't. You are reacting. If you spend 20 minutes debating with yourself whether or not to click, you have already lost. The moment you enter into a negotiation with your lower self, you have acknowledged that your lower self has a seat at the table. A king doesn't negotiate with a traitor. He silences him. The Stoic doesn't debate his impulses. He observes them, recognizes their falsehood, and returns to his work. Marcus Aurelius sat on the throne of the known world. He had access to every pleasure imaginable, but he understood the hierarchy of the soul. In his meditations, he wrote, "Stop being a puppet pulled by the strings of impulse. Think about that urge. When it hits you late at night, who is in charge? If you cannot say no to a 5-inch piece of glass, then something else is making the decision for you. Seneca wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." When you succumb to the screen, you are handing your power to a boardroom of strangers who profit from your decline. You are paying for your own destruction with the only currency that truly matters, your time and your attention. The Stoics believed that the highest good was excellence. This habit is the literal opposite of excellence. It is the slow rot of the masculine will. Now, I want you to project your life forward. I want you to look at the 2 paths ahead of you. On the first path, you change nothing. You continue to use the digital anesthetic every time life gets hard. 5 years from now, look at that man. He is older, but he isn't wiser. His eyes are dull. His posture is slumped. He has a persistent sense of brain fog that he can't quite shake. He is sitting in a corner at a social gathering, checking his phone because he's too anxious to talk to anyone. He is still in the same job, or perhaps a worse one, because he lacked the drive to compete. He has no deep, meaningful relationship, because he's been satisfied with ghosts. He is a man who is safe, but he is utterly invisible to the world. He is a spectator who has watched his prime years evaporate through his fingertips. Now look at the second path. On this path, you chose the discomfort. You chose the boring life of discipline. 5 years from now, look at that man. He carries himself differently. His skin is clear. His eyes are sharp. He has a terrifying level of focus. When he walks into a room, people stop talking. Not because he is loud, but because he has weight. He has built a body that looks like it belongs to a man of consequence. He has built a career or a business because he had the raw, untapped energy to work while others were sleeping. He is respected by men and desired by women because he is a rare thing in the modern world. A man who is in control of himself. He has a presence that cannot be faked. Which man do you want to be? The choice isn't made once. It is made every single night. It is made every time you feel the itch and decide to pick up a book or a dumbbell instead of a phone. But let's be real, you will stumble. Imagine it's day 6. You've been doing well, you feel proud. But then you have a bad day. You're tired, you're lonely, and a provocative image flashes on your screen. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. You tell yourself it's just a slip. But it does matter. You feel the immediate crash of the relapse, the immediate return of the brain fog, the immediate loss of that hard-won confidence. You feel like you've been sent back to the start of the labyrinth. Do not despair. The Stoic does not wallow in the mud. He stands up, wipes himself off, and learns from the fall. Why did you slip? Was it the phone in the bedroom? Was it the late-night scrolling? Fix the environment. Rearm the king. The road to mastery is paved with the lessons of failure. You don't win this war in one grand, heroic decision. You win it in small, quiet, invisible victories. You win it by deciding that tonight you will sit in the silence without reaching for a distraction. You win it by deciding that today you will look a stranger in the eye instead of hiding behind a screen. You don't need motivation. Motivation is a fair weather friend. You need control in moments. Every resisted urge is a micro-win that rewires your brain and restores your dignity. This is how identity is rebuilt, one brick at a time. Stop looking for a magic pill or a perfect streak. Just win the next 10 minutes. then the next 10, then the day. Stacking discipline is the only way to become the man you were meant to be. Every young man needs an edge, that raw, hungry energy that drives you to compete, to protect, and to create. This habit blunts that edge. You are like the man at the Colosseum who watches the gladiators bleed, but never picks up a sword himself. You are watching other men live, other men conquer, other men experience connection, while you wither away in the shadows. It is time to enter the arena. Reclaiming the inner fortress requires a radical shift in how you view the screen. You must realize that the urge is not you. It is a physiological hiccup in your primitive brain. When it hits, you must practice what the Stoics called objective representation. When you see a provocative image, strip away the glamour. See it for what it actually is. Marcus Aurelius used to do this with luxury. He would look at expensive wine and say, "This is just fermented grape juice." He would look at a purple robe and say, "This is just sheep's wool dyed with the blood of a shellfish." You must look at the screen and say, "This is just light hitting a liquid crystal display. This is a stranger I will never meet." Performing a scripted act for a camera, this is a lie. Strip away the fantasy. Look at the pixels for what they are, electronic static. Quitting isn't a habit change, it's a rehabilitation. Your brain is physically drained. To heal it, you must follow the Stoic path of voluntary hardship. Leave the device outside the room. Remove the gateway apps that lead you back to the cage. When the urge hits, it's a hot emotion. Kill it with cold. A cold shower is a Stoic exercise in reasserting dominance over your body. Your body says, "No, it's too cold." You say, "I don't care what you feel. Get in." Musonius Rufus once said, "Since everyone says that the man who is being crushed by his desires is a poor creature, the man who is a slave to his desires is a poor creature indeed." Do not be that poor creature. Build the muscle of the will. Transmute that energy. Take that unrest and put it into the weights. Put it into your business. Put it into your studies. Practice memento mori. Realize you are dying. Every minute you spend in the digital abyss is a minute of your life you are setting on fire. You don't have enough time to be a slave. You need a roadmap. You need to know what the recovery looks like, so you don't panic when it gets hard. In the first 7 days, you will feel a surge of energy, but it will be chaotic. You will be irritable. Your brain will scream at you. You will have trouble sleeping. This is the withdrawal. This is the part where most men fail, because they think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. The fire is just burning out the poison. By day 14, you might hit the flat line. This is the most dangerous phase. Your libido might vanish. You might feel a strange sense of depression. Your brain is trying to trick you. It's saying, "See, quitting made you broken. You need to check if everything still works. Just one peek to be sure." Do not listen. This is the brain recalibrating. It is learning to find pleasure in normal things again. By day 30, the clarity begins to return. You start to notice the subtle beauty in the real world. You find yourself having longer, more confident conversations. You aren't calculating your social interactions anymore. They just happen. By day 60, your edge returns. You feel a sense of aggression, but it is a controlled aggression. You want to build, you want to compete. You find the gym easier. You find deep work more satisfying. And around day 90, the fog has lifted. You have built a new baseline. You are no longer a spectator. You have become an unshakable pillar, a man who can stand in the middle of a storm and not be moved. The modern world wants you weak. A weak man is easy to influence. A weak man is a reliable consumer of junk media and hollow thrills. By choosing to walk away from this habit, you are performing an act of silent revolution. You are deciding to join the 1% of men who still have a soul that isn't for sale. Don't do it for self-help. Do it for your ancestors, the men who built civilizations so that you could exist. Imagine their perspective as they watch you waste your potential on a glowing rectangle. Think about the blood they spilled, the winters they survived, and the structures they raised. They didn't do it so their descendant could sit in a dark room watching shadows on a wall. Then, imagine their pride as you stand up. Imagine them watching you master your impulses, sharpen your mind, and begin to build something of your own. Do it for the future version of yourself that is currently trapped inside a shell of dopamine-addicted weakness. He is waiting for you to find the courage to be uncomfortable. He is waiting for you to realize that the pleasure you were chasing was never actually pleasure. It was just the temporary relief of a self-inflicted itch. Tonight, when the house is quiet and the screen is calling your name, remember that reflection in the black mirror. Ask yourself, is this who I was born to be? Most men will ignore this. Most men will stay exactly where they are, comfortable in their chains, watching the pixels until their time runs out. But you are still here. You are still listening. You decide which one you are. You decide if you are the ghost or the king. If the answer is no, then put the device down. Walk into the dark. Sit with the discomfort. Feel the fire of the urge and let it burn. It won't kill you. It will only kill the part of you that was never supposed to exist anyway. Every time you say no to the pixelated ghost, you are winning a battle in the greatest war you will ever fight. The war for your own soul. The road is long. There will be nights when you feel like you can't take another step. There will be moments when the entire world seems to be designed to pull you back into the cage. But remember this, the pain of discipline is a fraction of the weight of the pain of regret. One leads to strength, the other leads to a hollow life. It is time to stop being controlled by pixels and start controlling your life. Master yourself, or be mastered by the world. If you're on this path with us, stay the course. Make the right choice. Be free. Be a man. Be stoic.